Let's talk about the new Battlegrounds patch. Battlegrounds hero updates. Queen Wag Toggle, Wag's Warband. Instead of only +2 attack, it gives +2/+1. So it's like basically old Lightfang. Nice. So I think you will also see that like in the upcoming changes of the patch. A lot of unplayable heroes are getting playable. Or they at least try to make them playable. I don't know if this is good enough, but at least it's a big improvement, especially for the early game. Because what's very important is the health, which the Wax Warband gives. So I think that's actually good. It's at least good enough to make her not unplayable anymore. So that's kind of nice. Curator, they're basically buffing the health of the Menagerist. It's good enough. I think Curator was already kind of alright. This just helps out a bit in the early game and moves it up to mid-tier, like mid-tier probably. We can also talk about tiers later. So the next change is kind of interesting. So what we are doing is they basically, this is the old Hook Tusk hero power trash for treasure. I don't know if it's maybe too expensive. But it's really strong. Like the hero power is super strong. I don't know how it pans out. Like the difference between 0 and 1 gold is quite big. But like this you can go fish for triples. You probably play her like you used to play Rafam or Maiev. Same curve. Like you stay on 1 for a while. It's quite strong, I think. Could be like a new Maiev, a new Rafam. So I'm looking forward to that. Tail of Kings, so we're buffing the attack of the Red King. I don't know if it makes him stronger because Red King was already like, if you hit the early game, the buff was already good. I don't really think it changes much about him. Can't say that I think he will get like a lot stronger in the meta game because it comes down if you can roll the units in shop. Don't think it's kind of good. That's something I thought they should have done to begin with. Give a friendly minion stats equal to your tavern tier, like just make it targeted. This is kind of like a Van Cleef hero power, like very equal to the Van Cleef hero power. And I don't know, like if you use it in the late game, if it's worth it. Like usually if you have hero powers like this, like Pyramid or like targeting, there's a strategy like around it. Like with Pyramid, you buy 1 unit early on and you give a lot of health, which usually has like a high attack standard. So this is probably like Van Cleef. If you get like a Hydra or a Divine Shield unit early on, you can buff it. It's gonna be mid-tier maybe with the targeting. Without targeting, it was like just not useless, not useful. I never saw this hero. So this might be quite a big one. Like Boon of Light generally is pretty powerful. And this just gives George a bit more tempo. I think he was... it's just on the edge. Like 1 mana is huge for the hero powers. Maybe upper mid tier. Like you can just pair this up with poison builds. That's actually very strong. I think that's a huge change. The Boon of Light change is actually huge. Because like Divine Shield is so powerful in Battlegrounds. And also with the new patch I expect a lot more Menagerie builds to shine again. Since Elementals get attacked quite a lot with the nerfs. Ysera Dream Portal, at the start of your hero you get a dragon. Now you get like an extra dragon with the refreshes. This makes it easier to like pair or like triple the pairs. I think that's nice. Like Ysera is still like one of the heroes where you need a special strategy. Like maybe with this you can go like early on super Whelp Town, and when you go into Kaligos, maybe we need to figure out a way to utilize it more. It's definitely better though. So I kind of like hero powers like this. Same with like Jandis or stuff which like affects the tavern, since it differs the playstyle. Yeah, this hero power has already been This hero has been removed at the moment because you could just perma get the ice block, I think. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, it's good. The change to 1 mana, like 1 mana is a lot. So gonna see how it pans out. It definitely makes him, like, he was already decent for, like, say a top 4 strat. Not better, like, it's just the ice block which is so powerful though. But it's a huge change. This is a huge change. Like the 1 mana changes, like these hero powers, you might remember Lich King. Lich King generally the same, like super expensive hero power, they make it cheaper. Suddenly super good. Galakron is also a huge change. I have seen it in some games already. It's okay to get the higher tier. It's just like if you compare it to Toki, right? It's literally a better Toki because you pay no mana. And you can even freeze the unit and make it like a tier higher afterwards. Yeah, he's super good. I actually think he's super good now. Like for late game, that's just amazing. It's like, it's not like a free triple, but it goes into the direction. And yeah, I think he's pretty strong. It's like, that's a huge buff. It's just so big. Also the 0 mana, it's insane. Like you can just level to 5 and immediately get a 6 drop if you get a roll in. Test hero power is not like huge. I actually think it gives you like a better chance to get the good units, but besides that, it's a very decent buff. But I don't think it makes it strong enough. Like the change I was actually looking forward to was like, I think the Elise change is huge. Elise Starseeker, they recruitment from 2 to 2 from 3 because you actually get mana now, which is so important in the early game. You maybe know, for example, Yoxeron, which can always play like it has a token start. Like Elise is gonna be strong. I'm pretty sure Elise is good now. Lord Baroth, and that's also needed. Like Baroth is probably mid tier now. I think he's alright. At least you can somewhat cheat gold. Okay, elementals can get banned as well. That's good. I guess we had them in just to have some show of the new archetype or show off. We are buffing Rough Weaver to 3 health. It helps demons a lot. They were underplayed like crazy. That's a big buff for the early game. Because demons, they need the early game, otherwise you don't have the health. So what we are doing a lot, we're putting like your Hoger or Sensei, like higher Terror tier units to a Terror tier and lower, which I think is quite interesting because it can shake up stuff a lot. Like an early Iron Sensei with a Deflector that suddenly enables mid-game for the builds which were underplayed, right? Which I like because it gives you more variety. So now you have like, let's say you're on Tavern 3 and you're playing melee. You get like Sensei and Deflector and you got an engine. Like I think the big problem at the moment, all the engines you have, they're all in the late game. Like Lightfang, it was like Rag with Elementals, or Nomi, Bran, Baron with the Parrot. And now we get like some mid-game engines, which is kind of nice. Since I love building builds from the middle of the game and not always just skip the mid-game, try to get to a late game. Because in the end, if you have an engine which scales your units and the opponents don't, you win. Because you just get stats and they just stagnate at some point. So that's kind of nice. It goes the same with the pirates, I guess. I mean, strong arm, I don't get that change a lot. I guess it helps you getting the pirates online earlier. Same with the Ripsnarl, giving him some health. Like it's not like an essential change for the pirates, but we are trying to change the pool as well. So for like for example, Sensei is quite huge. This is not that big since strong arm finally works or like shines with Hogger, right? So we are also reverting Lightfang to its old glory. It's very nice. So you can probably play Light Fang now with Queen Torquaggle. You can play Menagerie more again. I like Menagerie. I always liked that Menagerie is an option in the metagame because it's healthy. You don't only want to have like elementals, like one archetype it shines. Genie going to tier 6, yeah, that's where he belonged. That's where he always belonged. I liked the Genie to tier 6 a lot because from the beginning it felt right to have him there. He was quite underrated. But what I also see them doing is they're nerfing the other 2 elementals, which I don't really get. I would maybe like now we have 3 tier 6 elementals, which is just weird to me. I don't think they're that powerful. Like nerfing Gar is, for example, not needed. Like this seems so random to me. This feels like, yeah, but yeah, elementals are a bit too strong. Let's give Gar 5 attack. Bit random. Same with Lil Rag. I mean, it's a 6-drop. You don't give him 4/4, right? I mean 6-drop, 6/6, Firelord and such. I mean, seemed fine to me. Buffing Elisa with +1 attack. I don't know if I like it. Like Elisa is such a unit. Like I don't know if you have ever faced it. Like in very early Elisa with pirates, it already kills you. You already take 30+ damage. I can see what they want to do there. It's an attempt to put it into a late game build. But this kind of attack pirate late game build, you will naturally lose to like poison builds or divine shield builds. I don't know. It seems a bit... It's an interesting engine with the attacking, but I don't know if I like it. You give it more attack, so Goliath is stronger with it, so... Cannot see, like, it's not interesting to me, for example. And then we also got the Amalgadon, so this basically reads you get like 1 less adept with the Amalgadons, which is fine. So you need to invest more to get that powerful late game engine. Amalgadon was one of the main late game finishers. It's still gonna be strong in Dragons, Murlocs, for example, but not just like play the Amalgadon, get poison and Divine Shield and win. So yeah, that's my thought about the patch. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. We got this. It's a huge patch. It's also quite interesting. So what I also want to jump with you guys into, you can always, what I would like to do, if there's a new patch, you can like go to the HS replay stuff. You go to like heroes and you can go to like current patch. You get like a little bit information, right? It's nice. Like you can see that Queen Rag Toggle is like doing way better already. Apparently that buff helped a lot. It will take a while until these stats get adjusted. But it's like you can see which heroes shine, right? Like Hook Tusk is already moving up. Elise is moving up.